Record. Go ahead.
All right. All over the news, you hear about bullying, people getting bullied, and students getting bullied too much to the point where they actually commit suicide, or they just get beat to a pulp and then they, die that way. Bullies might just be the class clown loving attention from other kids, not realizing the effects that they have on the kid. I want to inform you about different types of bullying and the impact bullying has on people. Now, let me ask you this. From a show of hands, have any of you ever been bullied before? Good, I'm glad you can admit it. You have been bullied too, you just might not know it.
I'm black. I was fat.
When I was younger, I was a victim of bullying. I had to wear an eye patch over my eye because the doctor said my lazy eye was able to be corrected. It was called amblyopia, so I couldn't see out of my left eye. Kids used to call me names like Pirate Boy and Cyclops, so I stopped wearing the patch. I went from Pirate Boy to Harryless Harris because the doctor said if I'm not going to wear the patch, I have to wear these stickers on my eye. And the stickers at least look like the skin color instead of me looking like a pirate. The only problem was when I ripped them off at the end of the day, it was ripping off my eyebrow. So that's how I became Harryless Harris. The bullying I went through was called verbal bullying. Most common amongst younger children who don't really understand how much they're hurting other children's feelings. When children are really young, they usually don't know staring is rude and making comments about other people affects them. They just stare and keep looking. Oh, why do they look so weird? Those imperfections they have. Another type of bullying I would like to tell you about is aggressive bullying or physical bullying. This is the worst type of bullying. This is the one you see in movies when there's 3 or 4 bigger kids beating up on a little kid. It's pretty depressing. It's usually out of parental view, so that way they can't get caught or get in trouble. It's the most abusive type of bullying. It can leave kids with serious injuries and sometimes in the hospital. Some bullies are actually being bullied themselves at home by parents or older siblings. And then they just lash out and do bullying themselves, making them feel better about what's happening at home. The reason that kids bully is, they're either jealous of other kids or the popularity. They're trying to be the most popular. They want to feel tough. Or they're just being bullied at home, like I said before. They want to escape their personal problems that they're dealing with outside of school or other environments. There's also adult bullying. And adult bullying includes narcissistic bullying, impulsive bullying, physical bullying, and verbal bullying. A narcissistic bully is self-centered, does not share empathy with others. He or she seems to feel good about him or herself, but in reality has brittle narcissism that requires putting others down. Impulsive bullying are spontaneous. They don't plan their bullying. They lash out at others, no matter what the consequences are, but then later realize the lash out had to do with something completely unconnected with the victim. For instance, a wife having trouble with her personal life, lashing out at someone at work for no reason. They call her the crazy one. Physical bullying with adults is a little bit different than with kids. With adults, it's more about the larger person just bullying the smaller person, and it doesn't actually lead to physical fighting due to the fact that they're adults, and if they do get physical, they can go to jail or worse, prison. Verbal bullying, starting rumors in the office place, is one of the worst for adults. Because, for instance, if a woman was considered, somebody started a rumor about her saying that she was the office slut or something, that could really ruin her life, and she could eventually, if the word gets around, she could lose her job. Not to mention if kids hear about it and then they tell her kids, and now the whole family thinks she's the office slut. Now she lost her husband, whole life screwed up over a rumor. Alright, this leads to my last type of bullying. It's cyberbullying. Technology has taken over, and cyberbullying is one of the worst ones for kids committing suicide. The reason is according to ABC, 160,000 high school students stay home from school every day because of something harmful that was posted on the internet. 14% of these children every year attempt to commit suicide. Out of that 14%, half of them actually do commit suicide. The only ways that I've found to prevent bullying are, being more conscious of what you're saying. Think about what you say before you say it. And, consider the consequences. Another thing that kids can do to prevent bullying is possibly take up a karate class where you can learn self-defense and, what do they also teach you in karate class?
Discipline.
Self-defense and discipline, thank you. But, at least if a bully's coming at you, you know how to defend yourself. Now, going back to my terrible elementary school problem with my patch, it was terrible for me. I mean, it was very hard for me to deal with the situation. Eventually, my aunt was able to come up with these little stickers that she would put on the patches that actually helped me out because it made them cooler. And students would actually want to see the next day what my new sticker was going to be. An airplane or a basketball hoop or a car. So all you have to do is get involved with your kids. Make sure they're not being bullied. And if you're a bully, stop bullying people because you don't know what the consequences could be. Because victims... Next one. One more. Victims can really end up hurting themselves. Thank you all for being here today, and I hope you had a good time. Woo!
It was good at 6:30.
All right. Had a little mess.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say